Imagine walking into like a pharmacy in London.
That sounds stressful already.
Right, you're completely exhausted, your head is just throbbing, and you really need something to make the pain stop.
And then the pharmacist asks you what's wrong.
Exactly. And that's when you realize you don't just need the word hurt. You need to express your exact tolerance, the frequency of the pain, the specific sensation.
Because language doesn't just name the world.
No, it doesn't. It is the ultimate tool you use to advocate for your own body. I'm Professor Paula.
And I'm Professor Reichel. Welcome to a deep dive that is, honestly, fundamentally about self-advocacy and identity through language.
Today is March 18th, 2026.
And you are enrolled in the English Conversations course, Group T262.
Working so proudly at the CEFRL A2 level.
Yes. And, we know exactly what it took for you to just hit play today.
We really do. You are an adult Brazilian woman studying from home, likely balancing family, maybe a career, the household.
The sheer mental load of daily life.
Yes, all of it. Carving out this time for yourself is, frankly, an act of rebellion.
Which is exactly why AcademiaBSB built this entire platform. I mean, our whole mission as an innovative online English school is empowering adult women through distance learning.
Exactly. This original methodology, the exclusive platform, it was all designed specifically to meet you exactly where you are.
Right in the reality of your routine.
So let's jump right into the latest class notes. Our central question today is, how do you balance the monumental task of learning a new language with the everyday demands of your own self-care?
It's a huge question.
Yeah.
And we're going to look at everything from vocabulary to grammar, all through this lens of health, wellness, and personal hygiene.
So let's start with how we actually categorize the world we consume.
Yeah, moving into the vocabulary of our current class. Because we aren't just learning nouns here, we are learning boundaries.
That's a great way to put it.
Right. Just look at the food portions on your list. We have a bite of, a piece of, and a slice of.
Okay, I have to push back on this a little bit.
Let's go for it.
Because, well, in a bakery back home in Brazil, we might just point at the counter and say, I want that bread.
Totally.
So why does English insist on these highly specific portion classifiers? Why so precise?
Well, it's really about precision in communication. English often relies on these partitive phrases to make uncountable concepts countable. Like if you just say, I want bread, it's conceptually pretty vague to a native speaker.
Right. They might hand you a whole loaf.
Exactly. Saying, I would love a slice of bread, or can I have a bite of that cookie? It gives exact mathematical parameters to your desire.
I love that. Mathematical parameters to your desire.
And we apply this precision to verbs, too. You don't just eat an apple. Sometimes you need to peel it first.
Peel, meaning removing the skin.
Right. Peel is a great action word to add to your mental list, even if it's not strictly in the notes.
Okay, so language categorizes what we consume, but what about how we physically maintain ourselves?
The grooming verbs.
Yeah, the notes cover grooming verbs like shave, wax, trim, and pluck. And also physical traits like tall, short, oval, blonde, brunette.
Think about a trip to the salon. You don't just tell the stylist to cut your hair if you only want, the very ends removed.
Oh no, that is a recipe for disaster.
Right. You advocate for yourself by asking them to trim it.
Or you might pluck your eyebrows.
Exactly, removing single hairs. Or you might clip your nails. Clip being another excellent grooming verb to remember that operates like a really precise cut.
We also have vocabulary for eating habits in here, like maintaining a balanced diet or choosing sugar-free options.
Which feels very tied to that core idea of taking ownership of your health.
It absolutely is. This focus actually makes me think of the brilliant poet and activist Audre Lorde.
Oh, I love her work.
She famously wrote, caring for myself is not self-indulgence, it is self-preservation.
Wow. Yes.
And learning the vocabulary of wellness words like sugar-free or balanced diet is literally equipping yourself with the tools for self-preservation.
You're putting linguistic boundaries around what you allow into your body. That is so powerful.
But that conceptual precision only works if people can physically understand what you're saying out loud.
Very true. Which brings us to the physical mechanics of the mouth. Pronunciation.
Looking at the past class, there were some tricky phonetic traps in there.
Oh, definitely. Words like Switzerland, when, desert, largest.
And considered, covered, specifically, and average.
Let's isolate the physical mechanics of just a few of those. Take the word when.
People always mix that one up.
They do. Often, students blur it with the word went. But the distinction is entirely in the airflow.
The airflow.
Yeah. When, referring to time, ends with an N, a soft nasal sound that hums in your nose.
Right, when.
Exactly.
Huh.
But went, the past action, ends in a sharp, abrupt T that just violently cuts off the air. Went.
I see. I remember struggling a lot with desert versus dessert.
Oh, the classic trap.
The spelling is nearly identical, just one extra S. How does the mouth know the difference without looking at a page?
Well, it is entirely about stress. The weight you put on a syllable.
Okay, break that down for me.
So for desert, the hot, sandy place with camels, you drop the anvil on the first syllable. Dessert.
Dessert, got it.
But for dessert, the sweet cake you eat after dinner, the weight shifts to the very end. Dessert.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that tiny shift in phonetic gravity completely changes the reality of the word.
Well, I have to say, whatever phonetic gravity you are applying at home right now is working flawlessly.
Oh.
Because looking at the class notes for the current class, I mean, look at this.
Wait, are there 0 pronunciation mistakes?
0. Not a single one.
That is incredible. That kind of phonetic precision is a massive milestone.
Since the slate is perfectly clean, let's practice a few challenging new words from the wellness category.
I love that. I'll read the word, put it in a sentence, and isolate the word again. Listen closely to the rhythm, everyone.
Go for it.
Childhood. I have beautiful memories from my childhood. Childhood.
Beautiful. We'll take the next one. Wellness. Prioritizing your wellness is essential for a happy life. Wellness.
And the final one, hygiene. Good personal hygiene keeps you feeling fresh and healthy. Hygiene.
Those words just feel great to say. But knowing isolated words is like owning a bunch of bricks.
You need mortar to build a house.
Exactly. Language usage is about how we connect these words to actually function in society.
And since our theme is self-preservation, let's look at structures related to physical boundaries and discomfort.
Like functional phrases.
Right. Like, can I say, it's correct to say, it was very painful.
And tolerant to pain, intolerant to gluten, intolerant to lactose.
That's just the warnings, like, it will hurt.
No.
And it doesn't hurt.
Let's see how these actually sound in the wild. Let's do a quick role play.
Okay, set the scene.
Let's say we're at a cafe and I'm trying to navigate a dietary restriction while dealing with, like, a physical injury.
Oh, I am ready. I'll be the barista.
Okay, here we go. I'd love to try that pastry, but I am intolerant to gluten. Is it correct to say it is gluten-free?
Actually, it does have gluten.
Sure.
But we have a sugar-free, lactose-free option. By the way, how was your knee? You mentioned earlier that it was very painful.
Oh, it is much better, thank you. I am usually tolerant to pain, but I was worried the injection would hurt. Surprisingly, it doesn't hurt at all now.
And scene. Notice the utility there, right?
Yeah.
You aren't just describing abstract concepts. You are actively managing your environment, protecting your health, and clarifying your needs.
The reason those pain and boundary phrases are so crucial is that describing physical discomfort accurately is literally a form of self-advocacy.
Absolutely.
And we are going to look at how that advocacy translates into the mechanics of grammar right after a really quick break.
But before we dive into the machinery of the language, take a moment to advocate for your own learning journey.
Yes.
Log in to the AcademiaBSB platform. Your gamification points are waiting to be claimed right now. Have you checked your stars today?
Those stars are tangible proof of your consistency. Remember, you can track your progress, see your achievements in the Minhas Conquistas section, and download all your class materials.
And please do not forget the book club on academiabsb.com.br. It is such a fantastic space to connect with other women on this exact same journey.
Go grab those stars, and we will be right back.
Welcome back, everyone. When we were discussing a balanced diet earlier, it really reminded me of the classic Friday night psychological trap.
Oh no, I know exactly where this is going.
You spend Monday through Thursday meticulously measuring your food portions, being an absolute paragon of wellness. And then Friday at 8 p.m. hits, your willpower just completely collapses. An entire pizza just mysteriously vanishes into thin air.
It is the ultimate human experience. Sometimes wellness means a kale salad on Tuesday and a large pizza on Friday for your mental health. Balance. So to quickly anchor us, so far we've explored the vocabulary of physical boundaries, celebrated a flawless pronunciation record, and practiced the functional language of pain and dietary needs.
Now, we move from the words we use to the system that organizes them all.
I want to look at grammar. People often call grammar the skeleton of a language.
But that makes it sound dead and rigid.
Right, totally. I think of grammar more like a city's traffic light system. It dictates the speed, flow, and reality of what you're trying to communicate.
Oh, there's a perfect analogy. So today we're looking at the present simple and frequency adverbs. We have a scale going from 100% down to 0%.
Always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely or seldom, and never.
These adverbs are the traffic lights. They tell the listener whether to expect a daily habit or a rare event.
But there's a strict rule about where they sit in a sentence, isn't there?
There is. They come immediately before a regular verb, like I always drink coffee, but they sit after the verb to be. She is always on time.
I have to admit, keeping track of where to put the word usually or always feels a bit pedantic.
You think so?
Well, yeah. Do native speakers actually care if I say, always I drink coffee, instead of I always drink coffee?
They actually do. And there's a fascinating psychological mechanism behind it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In English, placing the frequency adverb right before the action verb acts as a warning signal. It primes the listener's brain to anticipate the frequency before the action even happens.
Okay, that makes so much sense. It creates a smooth cognitive flow.
Exactly. It's a warning system.
And speaking of systems, we also have interrogative adverbs. Why, when, where, how much, and how many. These are basically the tools of inquiry.
Yes, asking questions is essential. But then we hit the verb tenses themselves.
Oh, boy.
Regular verbs are pretty predictable algorithms. They just add id in the past. To talk becomes talked. To dance becomes danced.
But the irregular verb, they are just pure chaos.
A little bit, yeah.
Like group one changes the vowel to an EU sound. To know becomes new. To blow becomes blue. To fly becomes flew.
And group two changes the vowel to an A in the past. To swim becomes swam. To sing becomes sang.
Okay, why do these irregular verbs even exist to torture us? Like, what is the logic here?
Okay, they aren't just rule breakers designed to frustrate you, I promise.
Yeah.
They are actually ancient survivor words.
Survivor words?
Yeah, most irregular verbs come from Old English. Words like swimming, singing, flying, knowing they were used so incredibly often in daily medieval life that their forms became permanently etched into the culture.
Wow, so they predate the rules.
Exactly. When the rest of the language standardized with the ed ending centuries later, these core words just resisted.
Yeah.
So every time you say knew or swam, you are speaking a piece of linguistic history.
You're speaking medieval history. I absolutely love that context.
It makes them feel a lot less random, right?
It really does. And bringing it back to the present, these structures, affirmative, negative, interrogative, they are how you navigate the modern workplace, your private life, and academic contexts.
You state a fact. I played the piano.
You ask a question. Did they go to school?
You establish a boundary. They did not go to school.
Let's see how those historical survivor words and traffic light adverbs operate inside a full narrative.
Yes. The reading section this week is a beautiful text about self-care.
I'll start reading the first paragraph calmly. In today's world, self-care is no longer seen as a luxury. It is considered an essential part of maintaining both physical and emotional well-being. There is a growing awareness that small daily habits, such as grooming, skincare, and personal rituals, can influence how a woman feels about herself.
I just love that tone. And the second paragraph reads, some people believe self-care is only about appearance. Others argue that it is also about confidence, identity, and mental balance. Doing your nails, shaping your eyebrows, or simply taking time to relax, these actions reflect how you value your time and your body.
This text is just phenomenal. It completely shifts the narrative from vanity to psychology.
It reclaims the narrative entirely. And you know what else could have been written here? The neurobiological effect of these routines.
Oh, tell me more about that.
When you take 10 minutes to shape your eyebrows or apply lotion, you're physically signaling to your nervous system that you are safe and that you are worth protecting.
It's an act of self-worth.
Right. Now remember the Academia BSB methodology, everyone. We have just read and analyzed the first two paragraphs together.
But the true magic of comprehension requires independence.
Yes. Your mission is to read the remainder of the text on your own and tackle the comprehension questions.
Which naturally transitions us from consuming someone else's ideas to producing your own.
The writing section asked for a 180 to 240-word essay describing your self-care routine.
And we have a magnificent submission from student B, Sandra Teixeira, from the city of Unai.
Sandra's essay is so rich with personal identity. She's a retired hospital worker, which is incredible.
Such a demanding career.
And she is now stepping into a new career phase as a psychoanalyst.
That's amazing. She wrote about her fitness choices, noting she had to choose between swimming and Pilates. She went with Pilates this year, but she also recently started swimming classes too.
Plus, she cleans her skin daily and does her nails twice a month to keep them looking natural.
The pedagogical objective here is to blend personal narrative with the precise wellness vocabulary and verb tenses we've been studying today.
And Sandra did a masterful job toggling between the present simple to describe her current routine and the past simple to discuss her hospital days.
If you are listening at home, you might construct a hypothetical routine using today's words like this. I am a brunette woman. To maintain my wellness, I always eat a balanced diet. Sometimes, if I feel run down, I prioritize my mental health by taking a long, quiet walk.
That's a great example. Looking at Sandra's notes, the Teacher's Enhancement Insights section is actually blank.
Oh, let's fill it in.
Okay, if I were providing direct feedback, I would say, Sandra, your narrative voice is captivating. To elevate your second draft, let's weaponize those frequency adverbs from our grammar lesson.
Ah, the traffic lights.
Yes. Instead of saying you clean your skin daily, say I always clean my skin. Or I rarely skip my skincare routine. It adds a rhythmic punch and demonstrates complete mastery of those grammar rules.
That is brilliant feedback. Always aim for that rhythmic punch.
Yeah.
Now, moving to the watching section, it's currently empty in the notes, but we absolutely cannot skip over the why of this activity.
No, we can't. Why do we insist that you experience real-life events, news, movies, and series from native English-speaking countries?
Because language does not exist in a vacuum or a textbook, it lives in the physical body.
Yes. The general command for this activity is active listening and observation. You need to study the cultural nuances.
Right, like when a native speaker is being polite, what does their face actually do?
Or how do their hands move when they're frustrated?
Exactly. You are observing the invisible communication that happens between the words. It is the context that brings the vocabulary to life.
And once you have observed that native rhythm, the final step is to physicalize it yourself, speaking out loud.
We have a set of B2 level idiomatic expressions related to health and hygiene today.
Idioms are essentially the cultural shorthand of a language.
We are going to read these idioms and their context sentences very slowly and deliberately.
The purpose of this section is for you to practice shadowing at home. Mimic the pitch, the rhythm, and the attitude.
Ready. Let's begin. Under the weather. I'm feeling a bit under the weather today, so I might stay home and rest.
Fit as a fiddle. After months of training, she feels as fit as a fiddle.
One down. He's been feeling run down after working long hours without rest.
Clean bill of health. After the checkup, the doctor gave her a clean bill of health.
Fresh as a daisy. After a good night's sleep, she woke up feeling fresh as a daisy.
Shadowing those phrases is how you build muscle memory.
And speaking of building, let's look at what you have all built together this week. The performance data for this class is staggering.
It really is. Both individually and as a collective group, you are perfectly locked onto the path to master the CEFRL A2 level.
The class stats validate every single minute you've sacrificed to study. You achieved 38 new words in vocabulary growth.
Wow. And you logged 48 minutes of intense oral fluency and speech engagement.
But my absolute favorite metric, a negative 47% phonetic deviation ratio.
Which means the gap between your pronunciation and the target native sounds is shrinking at lightning speed.
You literally went from 8 pronunciation errors in the past class to a mathematically perfect 0 mistakes today.
A flawless victory. So to summarize our journey today, we weaponized health vocabulary for self-advocacy, we explored the medieval history of irregular verbs, and we mastered the traffic light system of frequency adverbs.
For your next step, dive into the bibliographic references. Go to kids.academiabsb.com.br and tackle the quizzes titled An Iceberg Desert and Vacation Opinions. They are brilliant for solidifying these concepts.
And looking forward, our upcoming linguistic scope is shifting from the geography of the body to the geography of the world. Directions.
You'll learn the mechanics of saying, how do I get to the museum? Or where is the nearest train station?
But here is the real question. What do you do if your phone battery dies? It is raining, and you are completely hopelessly lost in the winding streets of London, and you have to ask a stranger for help.
That is a high-stakes, terrifying scenario. But don't worry, we will give you the exact linguistic map to navigate it next time.
Before we go, I want to tie our theme of self-care and identity to a piece of literary history.
Oh, please do.
In 1929, the brilliant author Virginia Woolf published a long essay called A Room of One's Own. Her central revolutionary thesis was that for a woman to write fiction, or simply to thrive intellectually, she must have her own money and a literal room of her own.
A space completely free from the demands of the world.
Exactly. That text completely redefined how we view women's independence. Every time you log onto the platform, every time you practice a new verb, you are building that room for yourself.
It is your intellectual space. It is your boundary.
So keep defending that space.
Because, as our motto reminds us every single day,
It's not only about the language, it's all about communication.